As yet another hero-based multiplayer experience, Destruction AllStars comes crashing into the oversaturated genre. This time, the heroes are bringing their souped-up rides and gunning to destroy each other. But does Destruction AllStars and its car-based mayhem do enough to stand out from the crowd? If you can't tell so far, not really. Let's see why this PS5 exclusive is 1 out of 5 stars in this Busy Gamer review of Destruction AllStars. Welcome back to No Time Gamer. Subscribe for more content to help your gaming sessions be time well spent. Destruction AllStars is actually a good idea for the hero genre game. I like the concept of doing a destruction derby with crazy cars and over-the-top characters, and the style and flair of the game fits with the ridiculousness of the concept. But this just highlights what stops the game from being truly engaging and a real standout in the genre. All the style was put into the characters, their looks, their unique cars, and the hype around each event, but totally disappears once you start playing a match. So let me give you a quick breakdown of the gameplay. You start on foot, get to a car, and then try to destroy as many of your opponents as possible. You get points for how hard you hit a car, if you wreck a car, or if you hit another player who is on foot. You have boosts in either the forward direction or to your side to increase your power, and you eventually get a special move to help while you're on foot, and a special supercar that's custom to each character. It's pretty basic, and that's okay. What it lacks is satisfaction. When you hit a car or wreck it, it feels underwhelming. They could have gone over the top with Burnout-style crash cams, but it's a much more muted affair. Even the minigame-like function of stealing another player's car is boring and hardly worth it. It could have been visually played out like stopping a car in Spider-Man or something like that and been a blast to do, but it's more like a lame QuickTime event with minimal payoff. Even the player-specific supercars are underwhelming. They each have unique enhancements and attacks, but feel dull when driving them around. And again, don't create the kind of visual or tactile panache you expect. There also isn't much of a meta in the game, since most of the characters play the same and use generic cars most of the match. There was so much potential for hyper-stylized mayhem, and it all stops as soon as the destruction starts. Even the downplayed realism of Wreckfest's demo derbies is more exciting since its destruction physics is way better than what's on display in Destruction AllStars. On the bright side, I do like the cast of characters. I usually get annoyed with the crazy, bombastic style that is put into these typecast heroes, but it works for the demo derby style. And the driving itself is good. I like the haptic feedback on the DualSense controller, especially when peeling out with a new car, and the cars handle well. But that's about it. Oh, I guess the game is really colorful and pretty to look at. What I have described so far covers the Mayhem game mode, and most of it applies to the other game modes, Gridfall, Carnado, and Stockpile. But each mode gets progressively less interesting while making tweaks to the formula. In Carnado, you earn gears by doing all the usual actions that net you points in Mayhem mode, but you have to bank the gears in a giant Carnado in the middle of the arena before losing your ride. Stockpile is similar to Carnado, except you bank gears in 3 different pads around the arena, King of the Hill style. Gridfall is probably the worst mode. Sections of the arena fall out as the match progresses, and if you fall, you're out. This can lead to painfully short matches, and the time to get back into matches makes this mode a complete waste of time. I was really excited to play Destruction AllStars. I've learned not to expect much from this genre anymore, but I love the idea of the Destruction Derby gameplay loop. Unfortunately, the lack of the overtop style in the actual gameplay had me uninterested long before I expected to be. I remember commenting to the rest of the team here at NTG that I was bored after just a few hours of play, but I needed to keep going to make a proper review. The game is free to all PS Plus users through the end of March, so if you really want to try it out, it won't cost you anything extra, except your time. This game is technically well made, so it's good for a one-off match or two with little commitment. But once you have to pay to get this game, it's a total skip. So for busy gamers, Destruction AllStars is time hardly well spent. Have you played Destruction AllStars? Do you have a favorite character? Let us know in the comments. If you'd like to try out another destruction-based racing game, check out our review of Wreckfest or watch this other video we recently made.